Kansas. I'm all season long. Well, that's not going to change. I got a feeling about that. But you got to love the NFL because the NFL, now here's the thing I haven't gotten into, fantasy football. Can't get into fantasy football. Some of you are in fantasy leagues too, if I'm not mistaken. This guy is, because that's all he's got. He's got his fantasy team. He gives up on the Jets week 3, right? You can't do it. How's your fantasy doing? Hopefully good this year. I can't get into fantasy football. I just can't do it. I just don't think anyone, any man should have a fantasy that involves 12 other men. That's just my own personal opinion. And then you'll get these guys that are always coming up to you at work like, hey, come join my fantasy league. And I'm like, no, I'm good. It's like, nah, come on, join my fantasy league. This one guy was pitching me, and I didn't join this one. He wanted me to join his fantasy little league. It was a little weird. I should have knew something was up when it was sponsored by Subway, all right? Don't worry. We're not going to look at your hard drive, sir. I'm going to call this table straight out of Jared's hard drive over there. What's up, girls? How are you? I see you don't have a wristband on. Okay. Exactly. Back to football, guys. I'm a huge Giants fan. I'm a huge New York Giants fan. And if any Giant fan in this room can agree with, we have that huge battle against 2 different football teams. What teams are they? Someone said Cowboys. Philly. Cowboy and Philly. Those are the 2 teams we hate the most. There's no teams we hate more than those 2 teams. And every year, the NFL makes us watch them play against each other. And it stinks because you know you're not watching anything that afternoon. And they did it last season on Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, they made us watch the Cowboys play the Eagles in Dallas. And there's nothing I can root for at that point. The only team I could root for is Al-Qaeda. See, some of you didn't like that joke because it involves terrorism. I understand that. Some people laughed. You know why? Those are diehard Giant fans right there. A diehard Giant fan wouldn't blink an eye at that moment. A diehard Giant fan, they come up to him and go, did you hear there's a bombing? Where was it? In Dallas. Go on. It was a Cowboy Stadium. Who are they playing? The Eagles. We got first. I actually got married about, 10 months? I got married 10 months ago. Isn't that crazy? This got married. Don't you immediately feel sorry for her a little bit? Just a touch, right? No, she's all right. I actually did the smartest thing a man could do in my situation. I married a mortician. I'm not making that up. That's a real thing. Because if you're going to deal with the dead all day, I guess rolling over and dealing with this, I'm a step up. So that works. I knew something was strange when we started dating with each other because sexually it just got a little interesting. One time she's like, I want to try something new with you. And I'm like, well, what is it? She's like, I learned it at work. Okay. One day I came home early. She's like, meet me in the bathroom. I'm like, all right. I open the door. There's rose petals sprinkled everywhere. The bathtub's filled with ice. Our sex tape is from the same producers as beheading videos. You know what I'm talking about? Just terrible. We have better music in ours, though, if that helps. 3 people laughed at that because they've seen those videos. All right. I'm the sick one. Good. But no, it's all roses in our house. We have the same rule in our relationship that you have in your relationship. Don't bring work home with you. We understand that part. I am worried, though, when my wife gets really successful in this business and we start marrying famous people, that I'm going to have the world's worst collection of selfies, you know? Guess who I met today? You don't want to laugh at that, but I know some of you do. I can feel it right now. My wife and I, we actually met on Match.com. Match.com, of all places. This is an actual example of what you'll meet on Match.com in the flesh, so just so you know. And a funny side story to all that, I was on Match for 2.5 years before I met my wife. 2.5 years. That cost me almost $275. And if you ask me, I gladly would have spent more for the person I met. I really am a lucky guy. See, you awed. You weren't expecting to awe for the last 8 minutes, but right now you're awing. But I did well, right? And my wife met me in the first 2 weeks of her subscription service. And if you don't know anything about Match.com, that's the free trial period. So she agrees with the statement, you get what you pay for. Well, now that, is everyone fed? You're all good? Everyone's got food in them?
Yeah.
Doing good? All right, let's do some blind jokes and then I'll bring up my next act. Blind jokes. Why are we doing blind jokes? My mom's blind. Not making that up. I have a blind mom. She had an affair a few years ago with her blind Braille teacher. I'm not kidding about that either. True love really is blind. They actually met, and my father got suspicious that the two of them were having an affair in the living room at the time, so he did the only thing any rational person would do in this room. He put a video camera wherever the hell he pleased. I have my mother's affair on Blu-ray. She likes it for the sound quality. I like that joke. But every time I tell people I have a blind mother, like there's like that sympathetic awe, and I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. There's a lot of humor in our family. And there's actually a lot of bonuses about having a blind parent that maybe none of you have ever thought of before. Here's a few of them for you. For one, you don't have to ever buy them a card. Ever. I never had to buy my mom a card. I never had that like little panic attack we all have at CVS on that day. We have to buy a card at the last minute. You know what I'm talking about? Right? When you have to buy the serious ones or the funny ones. And the funny ones are never funny. You never laugh at a CVS. Unless it's a paternity test. But you never laugh there. You shouldn't be doing that. But like, for example, you never will see a card that should make you laugh like my kind of sense of humor. A little bit darker, a little bit more twisted, like, you know, Happy Father's Day, good aim. You know, that should be a card. Happy Mother's Day, thanks for letting Dad get it in, you know? Happy anniversary, thanks for being white. Now, I can do that joke right now. Another bonus about having a blind parent, you can buy them in the terms of clothing, anything. Doesn't matter if the colors match, it doesn't matter what it looks like, she only likes how it feels. The feelings are what matters. This last summer I gave her a new silk scarf, she loves it. What she doesn't know is I got it for 85% off because swastikas went out of fashion a couple of years ago. Every time she wears that scarf in public, no one gets a door for her. Come on, guys. She's blind. Here's the last blind joke. I promise. Did any of your parents ever catch you masturbating? I got to finish. You have to think about that one, didn't you? Mark, you ready? Real quick, let me try to finish out real fast, guys. I'm going to keep it on a high note. So now, as I start this story, don't get upset. So 2 years ago, my dad passed away. All right, we're all good. Now, when that happens, weird things happen. You get emotional in very strange places, right? Like it all happens in the weirdest of moments. The weirdest place I found myself crying in was the shower. I've never cried in the shower before. I never had dinner with Bill Cosby. Now, if you've ever cried in the shower, it's a weird experience because you sound great and just shampooing away. I am the world's worst version of an Herbal Essence commercial that has ever existed. Do you all remember the Herbal Essence commercials, right? If you don't remember them, it was a lady in a shower shampooing her hair, and she's making the sounds like she's having an orgasm. Because Herbal Essence shampoos knew that they could sell that immediately. People would buy their shampoo just based on that. Because did you ever notice they never made a male version of that commercial? Right? They never made a male version. Could you imagine just flipping through the TV channels and this is all you see? I don't think that would sell a lot of shampoo. All right, guys, that's my time. Thank you so much. Really happy everyone's out here tonight.